No, Chris, on one level, I'm not surprised at all because we have been building to this moment really since last August when we first learned about the FBI's search warrant that authorized them to go to Mar-a-Lago and seize 20 plus boxes of documents, despite the representation by the former president's lawyers that they had turned over all materials responsive to a subpoena that had been issued by DOJ months and months earlier than that. On the other hand, I'm sitting in a hotel room right now in Miami, and if you had asked me where I would be when Donald Trump was indicted by the federal government, it certainly wouldn't have been here. As early this week, we all fully expected that this would happen in Washington, D.C., if at all. The fact that it's happening in Miami, and we have all so quickly had to adjust our expectations about where and why Miami is part of what has so many people, I think, out there scratching their heads, not only about this historic moment, but where exactly it's occurring and why.
So let's follow up on that. One of the concrete pieces of news we have now, which confirms much of the reporting and has confirmed your court watching in the Miami courthouse, where you've seen people coming and going clearly who are relevant to the case, including witnesses and Department of Justice officials, is this sort of venue change, right? That this was chugging along in Washington, D.C. It clearly has shifted down to Miami. The president saying he's been summoned, the ex-president saying he's been summoned next Tuesday to Miami. Why? What do we know about when this shift happened to this jurisdiction and why?
We don't know a lot, Chris, about when this shift happened. There's been public reporting that indicated that while folks like you and me weren't watching, this grand jury in Miami was convened last month and heard from a variety of witnesses before we were here earlier this week to track down Taylor Budowich, Trump's former spokesperson, when he arrived with his lawyer, Stan Woodward. Certainly, no public attention was focused on this courtroom or this courthouse, and that may be why the Department of Justice chose Miami over other places, for example, in the Southern District of Florida. But that sort of jumps over the predecessor question, which is why Florida at all, right? And Department of Justice policy generally holds that you charge a crime where the bulk of the conduct occurs. And nowhere is that more true than where obstruction is concerned, where there's also some case law in DC that would trend in that direction. And I think one of the factors for Jack Smith and his team was, even though the jury pool in D.C. would have been more favorable to them, and by far, I was on Joy's show last night, and we talked about the fact that over 90% of those who voted in the 2020 election in the District of Columbia voted for Joe Biden. Notwithstanding that, and notwithstanding the fact that the judges on the whole are viewed to be probably more favorable to the special counsel, you also have to weigh that against the certainty of making the right decision on venue. Because if you make the wrong decision and either you get a conviction and it's reversed on appeal, or the defendant moves to dismiss the indictment on the basis of erroneous venue, you can't start over. There is a real problem there. And Jack Smith is also working against a clock, right? We have Donald Trump, who, while under indictment now, is also a candidate for president of the United States. And the clock for Jack Smith effectively ends on January 20th, 2025, because if Trump is reelected and he takes office, this is game over the minute he takes office. Because again, you and I both know there's Department of Justice policy that says a sitting president is not subject to criminal process. So he could be mid-suit and mid-case, and he would just declare the whole thing over and done with. And so I think what Jack Smith is really trying to do is maximize the certainty of proceeding to a quick trial rather than one in the most advantageous place you could bring it. He'd rather be in Florida, where, as you and I have discussed many times, the majority of the conduct that's likely at issue here and the indictment we still haven't seen took place in this district, aided by a panoply of people favorable to Trump.